woman who was the representation of the Statue of Liberty. That is powerful, and that is what we need to share, because that's how we change hearts and minds. Thank you.
Thank you. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you, Marian, and to be on this panel. And don't hold it against me that I'm a lawyer, though, please. So Judaism, and what does it have to offer us when we think about social justice? And I grew up with a Judaism that had nothing to do with social justice, although it seeped into me at a very young age nonetheless. And then I was exposed to a Judaism from many, including Rabbi Michael Lerner, who you'll have the honor of hearing from later today. And in that Judaism, I was taught the following lessons. The lesson of love the other, the stranger. So that not only means our Muslim brothers and sisters, and our African American brothers and sisters, and our Buddhist brothers and sisters, it also means those that we're demonizing right now. It means finding a way in our heart, through all the pain, through the terror that seeps through our cells and pores of our being, to find the way to open our hearts and ask ourselves, what is their pain? What are they crying out from? What is it that they're hurting from so badly that they're making choices that are so not in alignment with their God energy? And how do we reach through that? And so I pick up on what you just said a little bit. The other one of the lessons of Judaism is tikkun olam, to heal, repair, and transform the world. And perhaps my favorite is tzedek tzedek tirdof, justice, justice. And it's usually translated pursue, but actually it's chase after, run after it. But not just run after justice, do it justly. You cannot pursue justice in unjust ways. You end up with unjust systems. Pursue justice with just paths. So what is it that makes this possible? What is it in Judaism that tells us these things? It's God. What is God? God is that force, that loving force, that power in the universe that makes transformation possible from that which is to that which can and ought to be. So if you translated every time you saw Lord in the Torah, in the Hebrew Bible, into the force that makes possible the transformation from that which is to that which can and ought to be, you'll see why people were scared of Jews. It's a radical document. It tells you we're in right now in Judaism every week. Every year we read through the Torah, and we're right now in the story of Exodus. How perfect, right? Like we're in the heart of Exodus. I mean, it's so deliciously perfect. And in Exodus, it's not some God up there who's going to fix it. If God was actually all-powerful in and of itself, why is he calling Moses, who doesn't want to do it? Moses is like, I've got a stutter, I can't talk. Me? Are you kidding me? You're calling me? No, you can't mean me. How many of you feel this in your life? You're being called now, and you're like, no thanks, too uncomfortable. I want to go back and watch my soap operas. No, thank you. No, Moses is called by that burning bush inside that lights him up, that he cannot ignore no matter how hard he tries. And God says, come. You have to come and help transform this world. You have to partner with me. I cannot do this alone. We are partners in healing and repairing and transforming the world. And if you don't step up, I won't be there. But if you step up, Aaron will be there, Miriam will be there, and I will be there. And in fact, perhaps this is not as well known, 5 women were what gave Moses his life. His mother, who decided to have a baby boy even though the edict had been handed down from Pharaoh to kill them. The midwives who refused to kill the Hebrew boys. His sister, who fouled the basket to make sure he was safe, and Pharaoh's daughter, the one who lived in the empire that was threatening Jewish lives. 5 women took leadership. So that is not to say that we don't need all of us, regardless of how we identify, men or women or transgender, whatever we choose, how we enter and participate in this world. We all can be those women, and we all can be Moses. And it requires us to get out of our comfort zone. Moses was in Midian, in his little suburban place, when this stupid bush burned. I mean, how annoying. And he said, and so here we are. As Marian said earlier, we were in our Midian. All this was happening before Trump got into office, and we were comfortable, and we weren't paying attention. Okay, now the bush is burning. So it's our time, it's our moment to step up. And Abraham Joshua Heschel has this beautiful quote, and I'm only going to capture a piece of it, which says, the liturgical movement, the movement of prayer, loses its power and its meaning if it doesn't become a revolutionary movement. So prayer is what creates the neural pathways for us to speak when we don't want to. And every morning I do my prayers, and there's this part that says, speak, even if you're embarrassed, even if your voice cracks, even if you don't want to. Speak, because it's the greatest spiritual need and calling of our time. And I don't want to sometimes because it might make someone uncomfortable. And that stupid neural pathway says, no, no, no. Just this morning you said you have to speak, and it's going to remind you tomorrow if you didn't do it. And suddenly I'm speaking. It's almost like it's internal, I have no choice. So find that neural pathway. Find your prayers that you practice daily and speak them. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Listen, all of you who question the transformative power of the universe, who doesn't believe it's possible, we're one. We are all part of God, we are all in one, and we will survive this together. This is a long journey. We'll get there together.
Very, very moving. I was